Boy, do I ever feel this comment. You know, I try really hard not to contribute to lateral violence, and I give resources in my podcast. There's a great woman named Donna Bevins who talks about internalized oppression and internalized racism, internalized misogyny. She gives all the oppression dynamic, racialequitytools.org. If you can give her a donation, that would be amazing. Um, but you know, at the end of the day, there's so many comments I get that are laterally violent that I have to delete all the time. I got one on my Twitter as well. Um, you know, calling me some kind of white settler colonial monkey. But, you know, it's ironic because, like, I couldn't even go to the Sisters in Spirit Vigil March because, you know, the settler colonial violence that hurt the folks there. I had to start something called Reclaim Awaton and have been trying to fundraise for legal funds. And, you know, it's it's really painful how much lateral violence I know I get, and I just try not to amplify it because, you know, at the end of the day, they're not there to actually engage, and they're not there to really discuss the issues. And you know, it's funny because on social media, there's a lot of folks who follow me. They actually have never listened to my podcast. They just follow me on TikTok or wherever, and which is fine. Don't get me wrong, but you know, you try to get that message out there that there are tools for folks, so we don't just trauma bond. And you know, people are just critical of a tweet or whatever rather than looking a little deeper. And I mean, I have to work on my lateral violence, internalized misogyny, internalized racism on a regular basis. My, you know, privilege as straight cis, because there's a lot of things my husband and I are afforded that those who are not straight and cis and married can't have. So, you know, I feel you about that. But I'm telling you, I'm in Calgary and I get lateral violence all the time. And I would even argue it could probably be worse in a big town because, you know, there's enough work for us all, yet we don't support each other. You know, I don't see the same people amplifying my message that I amplify theirs. Now, don't get me wrong, I get some really great people amplifying my message, and I thank them. But that bigger picture that, you know, I even in TikTok, I see non Indigenous regularly getting tagged because my followers want, you know, the non Indigenous people to cover it because, you know, Indigenous voices aren't good enough. So that it is sad, but you know, that's part of racism. And at the end of the day, lateral violence, internalized oppression, that is the system of patriarchy and colonialism that taught that. So when people do act out with their misogyny or their racism to each other, it literally is just, you know, colonizers' tools working for the colonizer. So I don't know. Hope that relates, and I hate that we have to go through this. So no, I'm with you in solidarity.